In our previous lessons, we have already discussed about the homogeneous mixtures and heterogeneous mixture. We are also done with the solution under homogeneous mixture, also with suspension under heterogeneous mixture. So now we're going to focus on colloid. Colloids are heterogeneous mixtures with intermediate particle size between a solution and a suspension. Colloid particles can be seen in a beam of light, such as dust in the air, in a shaft of sunlight. Milk, the one that you can see on the upper part, we are referring to the processed milk from cows, which we usually see in grocery stores. Smoke, from burning material, and fog, which is very common in Baguio City and in Tagaytay, are examples of colloids. Concentrated colloids are often cloudy or opaque. Dilute colloids sometimes appear as clear as solution. Dilute colloids appear to be homogeneous because their dispersed particles are so small. But take note, even though they appear to be homogeneous, they are still classified as heterogeneous mixture. So this is an example of a colloid. Water that is mixed with few tablespoons of milk. So you can see the cloudy appearance of the colloids here. Dispersed colloid particles scatter light, a phenomenon called Tyndall effect. Here are some pictures of what we have made in our class before. So these are made up of water that is mixed with few tablespoons of fresh milk and then added with some food coloring. And then we put flashlight at its back so that you can see how it can scatter light all throughout the mixture. The second picture also depicts the Tyndall effect of light being scattered as it passes through a window. So the light there is scattered within the smoky or foggy inside part of the room. You can easily see there the Tyndall effect or the scattering of light. So the mixture inside the glass and inside the room, the gas particles there, and some of its smoky or foggy parts and dusty parts can cause what we call as a Tyndall. Kinds or types of colloids. So in order for us to easily understand them, I have made a table here. The classification or the category, the dispersed particles or the particles that are scattered all throughout the mixture, the dispersing medium in which the dispersed particles are scattered, and then some of the examples of that category. So the first is the emulsion. The dispersed particles there is the liquid which are dispersed in a liquid. So it's a liquid in a liquid. Example of that is the milk and mayonnaise. So here, the processed milk that we see in the market is an example of a colloid, particularly emulsion. Under the microscope, you can easily see there the fat particles that are scattered all throughout its water content. So this is a perfect example of colloid. The dispersed particles inside the sol or within the sol is a solid particle. And then the dispersing medium is liquid. So within its structure, you can see there, or within the mixture, I should say, you can see their dispersed solid particles in a liquid medium. An example of that is gelatin and our own blood. So in the picture, you can see there the cells, blood cells that are scattered or are just being mixed with the plasma, which is also a component of our blood. Category or type of colloid is the foam. So the dispersed particles there is gas, which is dispersed in a liquid. Example of that is beaten egg white and whipped cream. So this is an example of a whipped cream. Um, it is thoroughly mixed so that air can go inside within its mixture. The resulting mixture will be fluffy, which is a sign that there are gas particles that are already within the liquid. Type of colloid is the liquid aerosol. So within the liquid aerosol, you have their liquid particles that are dispersed or scattered in a gas. Example of that is the fog and clouds. So in the picture, you can see their clouds and there are water droplets, water particles that are scattered all throughout the gas inside the clouds. The last category or type of colloid is the solid aerosol. In a solid aerosol, you can find their solid particles, small solid particles that are dispersed in gas medium. Example of that is smog. When we say smog, that's a combination of smoke and fog, and then dust in the air. So we have here a picture of Metro Manila, which is covered with smog. Okay, so we are going to have now an activity, and the directions will be the following. Identify the term described in the sentence. A heterogeneous mixture that has cloudy appearance. It has particles that are bigger than in the particles in a solution but smaller compared to that of suspension. What is it? Okay, correct. That is colloid. It is the ability of colloids to scatter light. Correct. That is Tyndall effect. Okay, next we have another set of directions here. Classify the given example as emulsion, sol, foam, liquid aerosol, and solid aerosol. First example is blood. What is it? Is it a emulsion, sol, foam, liquid aerosol, or solid aerosol? You are correct. It's a sol. We have here smog. You are correct. It's a solid aerosol. Whipped cream. Okay, it's a foam. Fog. It's a liquid aerosol. Mayonnaise. Correct. It's an emulsion. Thank you for viewing and see you in our next science lesson.